skiers, it's Bob with skiessentials.com, and welcome to our 2024 ski test. We've got a Volkl Kendo 88 for you today, and this ski returns unchanged from last year except for a little bit of a graphics refresh. Looks pretty sharp for this year, but still receives those same updates that we got last year for 2023, which was a pretty big departure from what Kendo had done in the past. So starting with the construction here, Volkl does use their multi-layer wood core, so we get stringers of poplar and beech in this ski. We also get a full sheet of metal below that core, and then we get their tailored Titanal frame on top. So there's really kind of a few different components with this upper laminate, or even laminates if you would like to say. You know, 3 separate pieces of metal here. We are starting out with that full width metal underfoot plate here. It does extend a little bit into the tips and tails, beyond where the frame starts along the edge of the ski. And that really kind of makes a more cohesive feel while keeping the flex more round. So that was one of the big things that we noticed for the 2023 version of this ski, was that it was able to flex. It's not as stiff or as planky as it used to be, but it still retained that just incredible edge contact with the snow that makes this just a huge favorite for advanced and expert skiers that spend a lot of their time on groomers, but also want that versatility for off-trail performance as well. So we do see that frame extend starting about an inch away from where the metal plate ends, both tips and tails, and extends all the way around the tip and all the way around the tail. It is tailored to the length of the ski, so longer skis will have longer thick parts and longer thin parts, making this thing just a little bit more fine-tuned to the length and the skier that's skiing it. And then kind of the other big thing was kind of inspired by that were these tailored carbon tips. We've seen this on like the Deacon V-Works in the past for Volkl skis. Basically what they're doing is they're using carbon stringers to generate more torsional stiffness in the shovel of the ski. And as a result, they're able to dial the metal back a notch. So in the older ski, the thick part of the metal just continued all the way around. Now with this newer version, it's thinner where there's that carbon in the tip, and that really allows for a lighter entry into the turn, kind of fine-tuning and really honing in on the precision of the ski without making it too heavy or too demanding, really opening it up to more skiers, but also getting it to be quicker in that initiation phase of the turn. So really interesting blend of technology here with those carbon stringers mixing with the narrower metal along the sides. But really, really smart use of those different applications of metal with this Kendo 88. It does end up to be a little bit on the heavy side here. This is the 177, and I got it on the scale at 1,920 grams. So we're still below 2,000 grams in the 177. That definitely puts it more in the advanced and expert category in terms of demand. Also, when you factor in just the overall stiffness of the ski, it's definitely likes to be driven by a pretty skilled and strong skier. If you're, progressing, through intermediate advanced levels and you're looking for something that's stable and smooth and powerful, there's nothing wrong with getting this ski. Maybe you want to size down a little bit from what you think. So that'll just kind of open up the maneuverability a little bit while you'll still be able to get all the stability and edge grip that the ski offers, which is really, really impressive. They also use their 3D radius side cut here. So at 88 millimeters underfoot, we are looking at a nice kind of blend of different turn radii, 129 in the tip and 113 in the tail. Basically, with these 3 different turn radiuses, tip, waist, and tail, you're able to get a shorter turn experience in the middle. You can really rip this thing like a slalom ski if you just kind of stay in the middle of the ski and really kind of push on the center portion. It does generate a 16-meter radius in the middle, and then 29 in the tip and 25 in the tail. So that leads to better long turn smoothness, higher speed stability. You don't have to run it at a crazy high edge angle. You can run it at a lower edge angle and still carve those nice clean round turns, but at higher speeds. It's also gives you the ability to mix up your turn shape and style even within a given turn, not just on a run, but like when you're in a carved turn, you can adjust fore aft, excuse me, adjust fore aft and make a different turn shape and style out of it. Pretty cool, really natural way of skiing the ski. You don't have to think about it, but it's nice to kind of know it's there. Not a whole lot to talk about in terms of taper and rocker, even though this ski does fall into their free ride division. It's definitely more of a directional ski. So a little bit of camber underfoot here and not a whole lot of tail rocker. You know, the round shape does make this thing a little bit easier to release. It is still pretty stiff and stable back here, so it's not like you're getting on a full-on free ride ski. Not just given the width, but also the construction. And then there's some tip rocker to be had here, but again, not a ton. Definitely falls more into the directional and traditional side of the spectrum. More comfortable on trail than off, although it's not terrible in the bumps. It just is a little bit heavier and stiffer and more demanding. So if you're gonna be going off piste, it's nice to have a good skill set and some strong legs to really help maneuver these skis around, because they are pretty stiff and definitely fall on the heavier side of the spectrum. But when you stand on the edge and feel this thing going from tip to tail through a carved turn, it's about as sharp, crisp, and precise as it gets for a ski of this width, keeping it just squarely at the top of that all-mountain category. So really impressive stuff continuing on through Volkl, especially with this Kendo 88. Really, really happy to be on this ski each and every time we get out on it. It just offers that top level of performance and is really tough to beat in this category. So make sure you check out this 2024 Volkl Kendo 88 here at skiessentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.